Yes, this is an example of what Christian was drawing. You get a 1 or something.
Let's freeze it.
So,
We can finish his work.
okay. This is called the what?
Ishihara.
Ishihara test. All right.
Evaluation.
Okay, so I just have a couple slides I go through here. What type is this?
Type 1.
Wait.
Which one?
That's type 2 visible.
Type 2 visible. Here's a weld. You can see the crack in the weld. I think these are plates I actually did when I went to NDT school. I took pictures. This right here is called a TAM panel. I'll show you a full. That's probably my thumb. Look at that. Yeah, it kind of matches. The thing that I hated about the school is that right there and that was not my fault. That was caused by everybody throwing their dirty parts on top of it. But what you're looking for is this right here. And I'd like to get some of these because I think they're really cool. They decrease in size. This is called a TAM panel. And this is, I'll show you, this is like a chrome plate. It's been punched from the back side and the chrome is cracked. And so these are actually serial numbered and certified, and they're used so that if you suspect that your penetrant isn't working, or it's a process control, where you can make sure that your penetrant gives you the same indications time after time. So if one day I run the TAM panel through the machine before I run my parts and I don't get any indications, I know that either I'm messing up or my penetrant has gone bad. So you're familiar with that because we've used all this. That's the method, or type what? Type 2, I believe. All right. Hey, look at that. I'd say, wow, that's really pretty, but looks like ours now. Got a type 2 crack. Method what? Type 2. Method C. What would you interpret this as?
Crack. It almost looks like a casting line.
So there's definitely a line that is going through here. It's probably a very continuous line, but this is most likely a part that has been pressed or shrunk inside of that part. So there's an actual seam through here. I'd have to know the part. Stuff I stole from the interwebs. That looks more like a magnetic particle inspection test right there.
It looks like almost like a forging.
These are the TAM panels. And so part of it is chrome plated and the other part is sandblasted or glass beaded. So it's actually a rough surface. And the purpose behind that is that you're washing both halves at the same time. And if you underwash, this is going to stay green because the penetrant dang near slides off the chrome plated. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of helps you judge how much water you should be putting on. And this is you actually get a reference photo with the TAM panel that shows you what it's supposed to look like.
Are those expensive?
Oh yeah, they are. A couple $100 each.
I would expect it more.
That's not debilitating.
That's another type. This one is a coarse crack panel. So they're going to give you a card that looks like that. When this
looks like eddy currents.
It's not actually. It's a black and white photo of it. So, all right. That's pretty much it for penetrant. We could go over very briefly. We didn't really cover the post-emulsified products, the B and D. But really, I don't want to confuse you guys, so I'll just throw it up there quickly, in that it's not very different. So clean, dry, apply penetrant, dwell. So once you have a dwell time where your penetrant soaks in, then you're going to add an emulsifier. So I'll show you the hydrophilic in a minute. This is a lipophilic emulsifier. See it better? All right, so we're going to add my laser pointer. So we're going to add an emulsifier. Now the thing about the emulsifier is it's also in a tank, but you can't brush it because then you're agitating it. So like I was explaining the other day, you have to think about a layer. If we think of thicknesses, we have a layer of penetrant, and we want that layer of penetrant to go away down to the point, I don't know if I don't have a decent slide, till we get down to the base metal, and then what's below the base metal is the discontinuity. So we apply this emulsifier, which then starts, it allows the penetrant to be water washable to a point. So we get it right down to the point that we want it to be water washable, wash it off. Dwell time, see, the dwell time is very short. It's in seconds or just very few minutes because it's eating away at the penetrant. Then we're going to wash what's left, and if it isn't enough emulsifier, then you can go back to the emulsifier, but your processes should already be written out how long it's going to take. So water wash, and then after that, it's pretty much the same thing. So really, you're just going to add in this emulsifier station here. But like I said, you need the emulsifier tank in order to do this, and that becomes...
Is that more sensitive?
It is. Like the stuff we played the other day, that's the ZP27, it's a level 4. Now, the funny thing is, I think in my notes, let's see. Rolls-Royce does not allow method B, which is the lipophilic. So this is not something that Rolls-Royce engines will allow you to do. They prefer that you use the, oops, is that it? No, solvent. Solvent is, oh, there's a decent picture. All right, so it's a hydrophilic emulsifier. So we put on the penetrant, pre-wash, put on the emulsifier. The emulsifier is going to work down to the base metal, wash off the emulsifier, and what's left is something that wasn't, you can't see that if you're watching at home, but it looks like this. So what's left is penetrant that's not water washable. So that the upside to that is if you time the emulsifier correctly, you can't wash this out, in theory. So it's a much easier process. The problem is, if your emulsifier isn't on long enough, then the entire part's going to be green. And if you leave it on too long, it's going to eat this out. So you got to time it just right.
What is the actual emulsifier?
It's just, I don't know what it's made of. It's
So are you washing with the emulsifier or
Nope.
just getting it wet?
You dip it in the emulsifier and pull it out, and the emulsifier starts attacking it.
So it starts attacking after you pull it out, and you have to wash it off.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't want you to have to write all this. Okay, so we'll just go in general. Same steps. Clean, apply the penetrant, same exact penetrant process, put on, allow the part to dwell. How long do you let it dwell?
10 to 120.
10 to 120 minutes. The same rules apply. Then you're going to remove the excess penetrant. What they got on there? Apply penetrant, dwell. Oops, that's C, I think. It's C. That's solvent. There we go. This is the hydrophilic. Clean and dry, apply penetrant, dwell, pre-rinse. So right here, you're just rinsing off the excess. It's an oil-based, and you're using water, so not a lot of it's going to come off. All right, so we get what we can off. Then we are going to add the emulsifier. Then you're going to rinse the emulsifier off. Then you're going to go back to your developer. So you're just adding this step right here. With the lipophilic, the emulsifier is pre-mixed. Max time is 3 minutes. With the hydrophilic, which is more sensitive, remember that because Rolls-Royce will allow it. It is not pre-mixed. You have to pre-mix the emulsifier, so it adds another complexity. And then you rinse it just like you would anything else. So that's pretty much it. All right, questions for you then. Type 1 is? Type 2 is?
Visible.
Method A is?
Water washable.
Method B? Post-emulsified, the lipophilic. Method C? Solvent. D? Very good. Okay, then we get into the removers. I didn't actually go over this with you because it really didn't come up in this. There's class 1 halogenated non-flammable removers, Class 2 non-halogenated flammable, and Class 3 special, which we didn't get into. We used water or the solvents. Then we did the developers. So Form A was dry powder. Form B, soluble. Good job. C. Okay, then Form D, non-aqueous type 1 or 2? 1. Okay, fluorescent. Then E, non-aqueous type 2, visible. And then Form F was, and then sensitivity, the lowest sensitivity was half. The highest is 4. And type 2 sensitivity is non-defined. Okay.
Wait, hey Kevin.
Yeah.
Can you explain real quick the difference between Form B and Form C again? Like the soluble and suspendable?
Okay, so Form B, water soluble. Something's water soluble. It means that water, it's a water solvent. So water acts as a solvent for it, and it completely mixes up in it.
So that was the powder that
Yes.
was split. Okay.
Yep, that's actually, we have that. Then there's water suspendable, which means it's just suspended in water, but it doesn't really mix with the water per se. It doesn't become one, like oil and water sort of, but not quite. Well, let me ask you some questions out of something that I have here. This is, I got this at the school I went to. This is level 1 questions for liquid penetrant testing. So in theory, you guys are ready for your level 1, right?
In theory.
In theory. So you should be able to answer all these questions.
Should.
Theoretically speaking.
All right, which of the following conditions will affect the rate and extent of a liquid penetrant? Rate and extent. A liquid penetrant will enter cracks, fissures, and other small openings. The rate.
Temperature and size.
Okay, is it the hardness?
B.
Is it the surface condition, the color of the penetrant, or the conductivity of the specimen?
B. Conductivity.
That was the last thing I said, conductivity. That's D. You said D?
I said B.
Yeah, but he said B, and you're making this harder. Oh my God. Hardness, surface condition, color of the penetrant, or conductivity?
Surface condition.
The surface condition is correct.
I said B.
Which of the following is a commonly used classification for penetrant? Post-emulsified penetrant, non-ferrous penetrant, chemical etch penetrant, or non-aqueous penetrant?
No, it's the post-emulsified.
Yes, post-emulsified. What is non-aqueous?
Developer.
It's a developer. Good job. A generally accepted method for removing excess non-water washable penetrant is. So what's a non-water washable penetrant method? B or
B or D.
You're right. C would be non. So B, C, D would all be non-water washable, right? Is that what it was? Non-water washable. What's the only water washable one in there? A. Unless it's what? A post-emulsified product. So, but it didn't say. It just says generally accepted method for removing excess non-washable penetrant. Non-water washable. So we have to decide what non-water washable means. Is it A, repeatedly dipping the test specimen in a cleaner?
No.
Is it soaking the test specimen in hot detergent water? Is it blowing the excess penetrant off the surface of the part with compressed air?
Maybe.
Is it wiping and cautiously cleaning the test specimen with cleaner, damp, and cloth?
Yes.
All right.
It's the longest answer, so it's it.
All of the following parts can be tested by the liquid penetrant method except an iron casting?
False.
Yes or no?
No.
Can you test an iron casting with penetrant?
Yes.
Yes.
True.
Aluminum forging?
Yes.
A part made from porous plastic material?
No.
Okay. Part made from non-porous material?
Yes.
So C was the answer. Which of the following discontinuities can be found by the penetrant method? Surface crack,
Yes.
subsurface,
No.
an internal inclusion,
No.
none of the above.
No.
So we got surface crack.
It just so.
Which of the following is generally the more acceptable method for cleaning parts prior to penetrant testing? What is the answer? Let's see if you can do it.
C.
What is generally the most acceptable method? Pre-cleaning a part.
Try.
I told you California was not allowed.
Oh,
vapor.
Vapor degreasing is correct. Sandblast,
No.
wire brushing, grinding, or vapor degreasing? All of the following methods are commonly used to clean parts prior to penetrant testing, except methods are used to clean prior to testing. Vapor degreasing, liquid solvent,
Yes.
power wire brushing.
No.
Okay, alkali cleaner then. Cutting oils may be effectively removed from parts before penetrant testing by vapor degreasing is correct. You guys are ready for your level 1. Most common type of contaminant in fluorescent penetrant fluid is
Water.
right on, water. Blacklight with a proper functioning filter in place used for fluorescent penetrant inspection can cause permanent damage to
Your eyes.
human tissue, human eyes, human blood cells, none of the above.
Long
Just don't look
exposure.
directly
Lips
at
and
it.
tissues.
Blacklight with a proper functioning filter in place used for fluorescent penetrant can cause none of the above. All of the following basic inspection principles apply to the penetrant methods except, so which does not apply? The penetrant must enter the discontinuity in order to form the inspection. That's okay, true. Indications glow when illuminated with a black light.
Depending on the method or the type.
Ooh. A longer penetration time is required for smaller discontinuities. If a penetrant is washed out of the discontinuity, an indication will not be formed by that discontinuity. So which one was it? B.
B.
Have to be B. I know, I don't like that one. Indications glow when illuminated with a black light. I guess it's because it's just an incomplete. It's the penetrant in the, maybe, but the answer is B. That's improper. Subsurface discontinuities can best detected by post-emulsification penetrant, visible dye penetrant, fluorescent water wash penetrant, none of the above. Oh, you guys are visible penetrant may be applied by
Spray.
spraying, brushing, dipping, or D, all the above. All right, I'll just do a couple more because I think I have 100 of these.
Wow.
You tell me.
Oh, sorry, 120.
That's all?
We're doing what, the 13th one here, the 14.
30 minutes.
The first step in conducting a liquid penetrant test on a surface that has been painted is to?
Remove paint.
Oh, you got it. Remove the paint. When using a post-emulsification penetrant, it is necessary to apply the emulsifier before applying the penetrant? After the water wash operation? After the dwell time has elapsed?
Yes.
After the development time has elapsed? See, now that's a good example of a question that just sucks. All right? Before applying the penetrant. Okay, that we just know is false. After the water wash operation.
Which one?
Wash it.
It's looking right there. What is it? Pre-rinse. So I guess they're going to call that the pre-rinse. So that doesn't count because
Oh,
water
okay,
wash
yeah.
then is down here.
Not after the post clean.
So then that means after the dwell time.
Yeah. No.
Well, that's
Well,
the
time.
closest
Oh,
one to being
dang.
correct.
No.
There's a couple of dwell times.
Yeah.
Dwell time's the right answer.
Real time.
Let me see. Try and find what I missed. Oh, here's one I missed. I missed the one about indications glow when illuminated. I was like, I don't know. They're all correct.
Are these online or something?
No, I got this.
Oh.
I missed the one about using a black light with a cracked filter. Using a black lamp with a cracked filter or without the filter in place can cause damage to human eyes because the lamp emits. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I put it next to that one. Oh, black light, ultraviolet, infrared, none of the above. I missed that one. Now I'm just embarrassing myself. Let's see.
You probably half read the question and just hurried.
There's 120 of them. Man, I tell you, this is one of the toughest schools I'd been to because you're in class for 8 hours a day, and they'd be like, okay, read 2-3 chapters and then answer these questions. And they were like incredibly difficult questions to find and answer. The problem with retesting a test specimen that has been previously tested using liquid penetrant is that
Penetrant will stay in the crack.
the penetrant may form beads on the surface. The dried penetrant residue left in discontinuities may not readily dissolve, and the retest may be misleading.
That one.
The penetrant will lose a great deal of its color brilliance, or none of the above are correct statements.
The second one.
Dang, either you guys are really smart. I'm a great teacher. I put.
We have to
I-
choose.
I
You have to
vote
choose
for
one of
the
those.
former over the latter.
It's gonna be
Huh?
on the test.
I vote for the former over the latter. We're just really smart.
Okay. Which of the following conditions will decrease the life of a black light bulb?
Turning it on and off.
Line voltage fluctuations, dust on the face of the bulb, changes in root temperature, or all of the above?
All the above.
Yeah, you guys are just as dumb as I am now. Line voltage fluctuations. Hey, PK, what are you not supposed to do with the mercury vapor?
Line voltage
Turn
fluctuation.
off the lights, so
Turning it on and off.
if it's a mercury bit.
It's a mercury vapor. You can't be turning them on and off.
You have to save electricity.
Which of the following factors will affect resolution of penetrant inspections? The sensitivity of the penetrant materials used, the surface condition of the part, the temperature of the part of the penetrant, or all of the above? Dang, you guys, I wish I would have had you with me. You guys are getting them all right. It is all of the above. That's all I missed. 4.
Out of 120?
Was that for your level 1?
That's just a level 1. They just made us do it as homework.
So what's the level 2 test look like?
I think want a couple level 2s.
No.
Want me to hit the ones I missed? There's a lot more.
That's not.
The speed with which penetrant penetrates a surface flaw is influenced to the greatest extent by which of the following?
Temperature.
Density, surface tension and wetting ability, viscosity, or relative weight?
Surface temperature.
Viscosity. See, that's hard because it's, you know that they affect it, but which one has the greatest effect? I don't know which is the greatest effect. Which of the items listed below is a disadvantage? And I underlined that word, so I must have picked advantage. Disadvantage of using the liquid penetrant test method. The method can find all types of discontinuities. The method is simple in principle and relatively easy to understand. The method is essentially simple in application. There are a few limitations on the size and shape of the article that can be treated by this method.
Is it B?
A, the disadvantage is the method can find which of the following is a disadvantage of using the penetrant method. The method can find all types of discontinuities. It can't. So it's like,
What was B?
well, its method is simple in principle and relatively easy to understand.
That could be
I don't know.
That's the point. How is it a disadvantage?
Hey, I'm just telling you, these are the questions that are supposed to be on the ASNT tests.
Whatever you should be doing it. Mess it up.
Which of the following test part characteristics listed below are normally considered before the specific liquid penetrant test method is selected? The kind and size of discontinuity is most likely to occur. The intended application of the part, the surface finish of the part, or all of the above?
That question was too long to follow.
All of the above. Which of the test part characteristics below are normally considered before the specific penetrant test method is selected? In other words, before you decide is it type 1, type 2, method A, B, C, or D, what are you going to think about? Are you going to think about the kind and size of discontinuities likely to occur? You're going to think about the intended application of the part, the surface finish of the part, or all the above? All the above. I think I said intended application. These are the ones I got wrong. Last one. All of the following methods are recommended to remove grease from the surface of a penetrant test specimen except vapor degreasing, alkali cleaning, cleaning with solvent type material, or hot water rinsing.
Hot water rinsing.
You got it. All right, so what time
So
we got?
out of like 120, you missed like 10.
No, this one has, this is the level 2 test. It also has 120, and I had an 84.
You pass.
That was just a homework assignment.
Oh,
Wait, 84 correct or 84%?
I got 84%.
Oh, okay.
Where did you have to go to do that test?
Well, this is just a school I went to in Anaheim.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't go. I went by myself.
How do you do that way while still working?
How do I do? Well, well, now I guess I got to give you guys a choice here. Christian, you never finished. We just so if I finished up with penetrant testing, we still got to study a little bit, and I'm going to start magnetic particle this week because it's a short week. Do you want to take the test on Friday, or should I start magnetic particle tomorrow and you take the test Friday?
Well, how much is in magnetic particle?
How much? About the same amount. Maybe a little longer.
Test Friday.
I'll figure it
More or
out.
less time.
We'll figure it out. Talk fast. Well, test tomorrow or Friday? Okay, test on Friday.
Why would we have it tomorrow?
Raise your hand.
That's the one on Friday.
Actually, tomorrow will be fine.
Is it just on liquid
What,
penetrant?
what do you?
I'm going to pause this. People at home are going, what the heck is that?